Oh my God, I'm tired. What a long day. And not just because of the journey that we had today. You know, the journey is always tiring. No, this was one of those days where it seems like there were multiple journeys in a single day. This morning when we woke up, it was to the sound of drums and singing from the neighbors. This happens quite often here. Now, if it's a Monday morning and you're hearing singing and drums, you can usually bet it's for an upcoming wedding in one of the houses. So we knew that there would be music going on in the background all day. So we figured, let's get up, let's have breakfast, let's do some work, and then let's head to the beach for the day. We thought we could go to the beach, relax, enjoy the sunshine, and just stay there all day. But no, that was not meant to be, because there was some construction work going on by the beach, so we had to keep moving. We didn't want to sit and be bothered by the construction dust, so we started walking down the road. As we were walking, we saw these kids playing volleyball, and it looked like they were having a lot of fun. So we joined them for a while and played with them, and then eventually we got bored of that. The kids wanted to play some more, but we were thinking, what else can we do? We went for a walk, we played with the kids. Now we're just kind of sitting around, what else can we do? We walked around a little bit more, and we decided to take the ferry back across the river to the other side, because there are a few nice restaurants over there, and we thought maybe we can eat some lunch and then hang out there for a while. So we crossed the river, walked around, and then sat at one of the restaurants and just chilled there for a while. But then the clouds started coming in and we could feel it getting a little bit breezy. And as we're sitting there eating our lunch, all of a sudden we hear thunder. The skies opened up and it poured. It poured buckets. Luckily, the restaurant has a big roof outside, so we were able to sit there and wait it out. Luckily, we brought our books, so we read our books for a while, and then, after about an hour or so, the rain stopped. We thought, okay, let's see what the weather does now. We'll just walk around the area for a while. If it starts raining again, we'll just find somewhere else to go. So we started walking around, and we found this cool bookstore, and we thought, okay, great, we'll hang out in the bookstore. We were hanging out in the bookstore for a while, looking at books, reading books, and then all of a sudden it started hailing. We're like, seriously, what is going on today? We ran outside, started running to the main square, which has a big church. Underneath the church is a little market area, and we thought we can just run over there and wait it out. Luckily, we made it under the church before the hail got any bigger than marbles. We waited there for about 20 minutes until the hail stopped, and then we walked back to the ferry dock and took the ferry home. We thought maybe we can just sit on the porch for a while, have a beer, and just chill out. But then we heard this crazy sound, and we looked up and we saw these huge dark clouds coming in. We're like, oh God, is it gonna storm again? It didn't look good. So we grabbed our stuff, threw it inside, and ran to the bedroom to get our bikes, because we thought, if it's gone nah storm, let's go ride our bikes in the rain for a while. We grabbed our bikes and we were riding through town, and it started sprinkling. We're like, great, it's starting to sprinkle. Let's keep going. We rode past the high school, and every time we pass the high school, we think, man, this place looks really cool. Every time we drive by, we always say if this was our high school, it would be so awesome. And then all of a sudden, bam, the skies opened up and it poured again. We're like, seriously. We turned around and headed back home. When we got home, we just threw ourselves on the couch and thought, man, this was the most tiring day. And we realized that even though we did not do anything overly strenuous, it was still exhausting because we kept having to pack up and move to a new location. We decided to order some food and watch a movie and just call it a night. While we were watching our movie, we started talking about how tired we were. We were like, man, we need a vacation from our vacation. You ever feel like that sometimes when you're on vacation and you're like, I need a vacation from my vacation? We were talking about it, and we said, maybe we should try and find a job somewhere where we can just chill out every night after work and relax. And we were thinking about that for a while, and then we just kind of put it off to the side because we knew it wasn't realistic. But it made us start thinking about how nice it would be to live in a place like this, and how nice it would be to have a house like this. The thing that really struck us about living here is that everything is within walking distance. Like if you want to go to the grocery store, it's right down the road. If you want to go to the beach, it's right there. If you want to go to the city center, it's just right down the road. There's nothing really that we would need that's more than a 20-minute walk away. And that's just such a nice way to live. Like we talked about earlier, how much we love driving around and exploring. But when you don't have a car and you actually have to walk everywhere, it makes you appreciate the area that you're in. Because when you're driving around, you can easily just zoom through areas and not really see anything. But when you're walking around, you really have to slow down and you pay attention to all the details. So we've been doing a lot of walking on this trip, and it's really given us a whole different perspective of seeing things. And it's made us realize how nice it would be to live in a place like this. It's also made us start thinking about what kind of house would we want to live in. We were joking about how nice it would be to live in a house with a caretaker who takes care of everything. Like you come home and your house is clean, everything's perfect, but then we started thinking, do we really want someone taking care of our house? Like, would we want to live in a house where somebody else is cleaning our house and cooking for us? Because we're used to doing everything ourselves, like we cook all of our own meals and we clean our own house. So the idea of living in a house with a caretaker who's doing all that stuff for us kind of felt weird to us. And then we started thinking about what kind of house would we really want to live in. And we thought, we don't really want a big house. Like we don't need a big house. We don't entertain a lot. We don't have a lot of friends over. We don't have a big family. So we don't really need a huge house. We thought, we would really just want something simple. We'd want a nice house, but we want something simple. And then we thought, do we even want to live in a house? Maybe we'd want to live in a condo. Maybe we'd want to live in a smaller space. We started thinking about what kind of place would we actually want to live in, and we couldn't come up with a definite answer. And then we realized that maybe the answer isn't necessarily to buy a house, but to rent a house. Maybe we should just rent a place for a year and see what it's like. One of the biggest commitments that we've ever made is buying a house. Like that's a huge commitment, so the idea of renting a place kind of seems like a good compromise, because we could rent a place, see how we like it, and then if we still want to buy a place, we can buy a place. I'm just going to be quiet for a second. Just enjoy the silence. It's so nice. One of the best parts about being on the road and traveling is that we meet so many cool people from all over the world.